welcome to Find It on this special New Year's Day edition with none other than Maddie Schultz. My maiden name was Schultz. We must be related. I have her right here with me. I'm so excited to bring her on and to share this first day of the new year, Go 2023. And I'm all blinged out because the party's still going on. So why don't you just hang tight, get ready to have a nice conversation with Maddie Schultz right after this. I'm so happy you're here.
Yes, me too.
Like in physical body, because you're normally in
Arizona.
And you're in Arizona because why?
I play golf there.
She's a golfer. Well, before we get started with the actual interview, why don't we pick up our little fun beverage and say cheers to 2023.
Yes,
cheers to family. And let's just say, well, let's drink it. Don't get too excited. She has water. She's an athlete. She's good to her body. And I have a probiotic soda pop. So whatever. They're in pretty glasses. We're toasting. It's yummy. Really good.
Yes.
Okay. So let's just get after it here. Why don't we just, we've toasted and now why don't we hit it? You guys, it does not look like that when I hit it. I mean, oh my goodness. This sport is so frustrating to me. But how many years, when did you start playing golf?
I was about 4 years old when I played for the first time. I mean, I had plastic clubs when I was like 2.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I played for the first time when I was 4. Been playing ever since.
And your dad, who is my first cousin.
Yes.
Our fathers are brothers. So, and you're my second cousin, but you're still first in my heart. So what made you get interested in it to begin with?
I would say it would be my dad. He played in high school. You know, he might have not been good enough to go to college. Maybe it might have been his grades or something, but we won't talk about that.
We won't go there. It's fine.
He's a certified golf instructor, so he's been dealing with it for several years, and he always wanted me to play.
I got to tell you too. Speaking of your dad and my dad, brother, my dad is his brother. It's easy for me to say. We're related, but no, they're brothers. But my dad is an avid golfer. Has always been. We lived beside, down the street from a golf course. He always had golf carts. And all I wanted to do was drive the golf cart. I didn't want to drive the ball. I wanted to drive the golf cart. And, you know how dad is. He's not like pushy or like, let's do this, try it, whatever. He would just let me do whatever. Right. So I would drive the golf cart.
Right.
And then later in life, I decided I wanted to learn how. And he's so patient with me, but it's just not pretty.
Yeah.
So you wanted to do it.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I loved it. I remember coming off the bus. I don't even remember how old I was, probably 10 or so, and begging my dad to go hit golf balls and every day. And he used to, back in the day, he worked at Crown Hill, and then he was, at Chillicothe Country Club for a few years. And now he's
golf
back
pro. He was a golf pro.
Back at Crown Hill now, but way back when he was just managing it, yeah, I'd want to be there every day with him.
That's so cool because I am so sure your dad's heart was just like exploding with joy that you love the sport that he also enjoys.
Yes.
And I can attest to all of my family. We're so proud of you. And Len, my producer, could you pop that picture on and show the golf carts lined up? We would follow Maddie around. It was kind of like my dad and our thing. My dad's in the red. And then your grandpa is in the blue.
Mhm.
And then Aunt Sue and my mom. And then your other grandparents,
Yes.
Krista's parents
Yes.
are in there. We would line those golf carts up and just follow you around the course. And it gave us like all this fun stuff to do together by following you around. Thanks, Lynn. And but like so let's go from you all of a sudden you wanted to do it all the time, then you realized you had a talent.
Mhm. Yeah, actually, that's a funny story because I remember one of the first junior tournaments I played in. My dad always told me I was really good. You know, I was in a small town, and not very many kids were playing golf, and I thought I was amazing. He thought I was amazing. He was pumping me up. You're awesome. And I got up. There's a junior tour in Columbus, and so many talented kids, and we're like 10 years old. And I go up and play in this tournament, and I remember getting next to last place. And I remember looking at my dad, and I said, "I'm terrible. Like, why'd you tell me I was so good for? All these kids just beat me by like 20 strokes on 9 holes." I was like, "I want to get better. Like, I
Ooh.
want to get better." I think I was probably 11 or 12.
Yeah.
I mean, I was not good at golf. Like 12 years old, I was not that good. Not many people would believe that, but I don't think there's very many like um natural golfers.
Yeah.
You think you can be naturally athletic, but if you really want to strive and like be at the top, you have to put work in.
Yeah. I mean, beautiful. Look at the swing on that chick.
only athleticism can only take you so far.
Yeah.
You'll see that in pretty much any sport. I mean,
Yeah.
whenever you're younger, you can be really athletic and it can take you so far. But once you get older, the people who are working harder than you are ultimately going to beat you.
Yeah.
So if you don't work with them, then
Yeah.
you're just going to stay right where you are.
It's very true. I mean, the natural athleticism can take you to a certain level.
Yep.
And then tell me a little bit about, this is the other part. Golf, to me, all athletes and all sports have the mental part.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, when I even like golf seems like it's all on you. You're out there hitting the ball by yourself.
Yes.
It's gets in your head.
It does.
How do you manage that?
It just goes with a lot of playing golf. I mean, you gotta keep practicing it, and you gotta just keep somehow reminding yourself that the next shot is what matters. And my dad always told me when I was younger that you have to forget about the last shot because it doesn't matter, and just the most important shot is the next one. And
that's great advice.
That's what you have to get in your head, and you have to realize that you can't go back and change it, which I think is a good life. I mean, golf is literally life. Like, you can't go back and change anything, so you shouldn't be stressing about it. If you can't change it while you're stressing about it, it's in the past. You're not going to remember it in a week,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you hit that bad shot and you're like, gosh, that's embarrassing, it's terrible, but are you really going to remember it? I mean, I play so much golf that you're going to remember the good ones versus
you're going to remember
ones.
the good ones, but can we just talk about the Ohio State Georgia game last night? The kicker's not going to forget that shot.
Well, yeah, that's true. But the funny thing is you can normally laugh about it later. You're going to be mad about it for a while, but later you're like, oh my gosh, remember that shot I hit? That was so funny.
So while Kevin, your father, who is my first cousin, love you, Kev. I know you're watching. Hello. I know that is amazing advice, and it is life advice. Yes. You're going to mess up and you have to like get over yourself and move forward.
Right.
But while that is great advice, it's easier said than done.
Yes.
So there's got to be, because I've watched matches, professional golfers who choke.
Yeah.
Because they just messed up, and then they go to the next hole and they mess up again.
Right.
So what is it that you have that other professional golfers do too? I'm not saying everybody. But what is it that you're able to go to another place and just move forward? Because I've watched you come out of it.
Right. It's just a lot of patience, and I try to remind myself that I am capable of doing good things, I guess, because I've done them before. Why can't, just because I had this bad hole, that doesn't define me as a golfer. And I think that's another like life thing. It's like, just because you had a bad day, that doesn't define you as a person. Or you can just keep overcoming stuff as it hits you. So that's why I think life is just like golf.
Yeah. I know I'm for some reason I thought life was like a block of chocolate, but it's not. It's like golf. It totally is. Like you
Yes.
swing and you miss. That's me.
Yeah.
You don't swing and miss. I saw your swing. But
Yeah.
you know, so let's go back to the fact that you went to Columbus for your first big match with other golfers and thought, "Wow, Dad, why'd you tell me I was good? I kind of suck."
Right.
You went back though, and you have that badassery. It's the Schultz Center. It's the Schultz Center. Just remember, what is it though that you went back and worked hard, and then what happened?
A light bulb kind of went off in my head that, you know, I have the ability to be as good as those girls and that I can hang with them. And I ended up hanging with them at one point. I remember one girl that's really good from up in Columbus. She beat me all the time when I was younger, and it was frustrating. And I remember going to a tournament when I was about probably 15, and I ended up beating her
Oh
in a
yeah.
tournament. And you know, she's a super sweet girl, and like I don't have anything against her. It's just I love the competition of it, and I love, you know, being neck and neck with someone.
Mm-hmm.
And
you guys probably have so much respect for one another.
Yes.
And she's probably like low key proud of you that you've worked so hard and came back and beat her. I mean, it doesn't feel good to get beat, but she's probably like, I like her.
Yeah.
Good job.
Right.
So then after that, okay, so you're in high school and your dad's coaching the high school team.
Right.
And let me just give a shout out to you, Kevin, because I've watched you with not just your team coaching those girls, but girls from all around different areas, you bringing them into your golf simulator and helping them learn the sport better. That means a lot to me because it's not just about my daughter's going to be the best. See y'all. He truly is has that coach mentality. And I'm so proud of you. It's just who you are. But so he, you know, obviously trained you, and then you continued to get better in high school. What are some of the matches, high-level matches you've gone to and did well?
You mean in high school?
During high school.
Well, high school golf is definitely a lot different than, you know, my junior tournaments that I'd play in. But
I guess what I mean is not necessarily your golf matches for school, but when you were in high school, you went to tournaments.
I've traveled down to Florida to play, South Carolina, met all sorts of people. I actually found one of my good friends down in she's from Canada. I found she was in Florida, and then we also played in a tournament together in Texas. My coach is on here now. Hi, Tina.
Hey, coach.
And yeah, I got a lot of different experiences, you know, being in all different places, played all over Ohio, as you can imagine.
Well, we tried to follow you when you were in Ohio.
Yes. But yeah, it's awesome to meet all kinds of different people, and I've had all sorts of different experiences, good and bad, with people, and you know, but no, overall, it's really cool. You know,
but like, tell me and tell the audience what is a tournament during your high school years that you had gone to that really sticks out in your head that maybe you had a challenge that you overcame, or you just did really well, or maybe you just did really bad. I don't know.
I'd say the one that sticks out to me the most, I was about 14 or 15, and I was down in Florida and I played in a holiday tournament. The funny thing is, actually, the first year we went to this tournament, this is right before Christmas, actually.
Do you remember the name of the tournament?
It's called, I think it's like the Holiday Classic or something, and it's at Orange County National.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's a really nice area, but it's down in Orlando. It's in December, and this was like one of the first times we had been down to Florida in the winter. We literally did not pack pants or anything. We thought it was gonna be we thought it was gonna be like
balmy.
Yeah, 75 and sunny, and we had a frost delay the first day. I mean, literally, we were like, "What is happening? Are we in Florida or Ohio?"
What did you do?
Well, I mean, luckily I did have one. I mean, I had like a light jacket, you know, but I don't think I even had pants. I mean, literally, I was.
Well, we're not wearing pants now. No. Do it now.
I was yeah, I mean, I was out there in like a skirt and a light jacket, and everyone else is like toboggan and
Well, how
like
can you get your swing on if
I
you're cold
know
and stiff?
it ended up warming up, during the day, but I mean, we teed off super early in the morning, so they had to delay it a few hours. But it was just mind blowing to me. But during that tournament, I had never played in Florida before in my life, and at that time, it was my dream to be in Florida, or in a warmer climate. And the first day was terrible. I mean, just
Mm,
awful.
mm.
And I was supposed to have a practice round the day before, and it literally just it was raining sideways. I couldn't even go out and do anything. And that actually
Wait
happens
a
more
minute. My
often than
dad
not.
told me it never rains on a golf course.
That is
It
not
does?
Yes.
Oh, no.
I think I played
Dad.
more in the rain than I have not, honestly.
Oh,
Oh
gosh.
my gosh. Um,
So it
yeah.
was raining sideways.
It was raining sideways for my practice round, which didn't really matter, but I didn't get to see anything of the course. So then the next day there was a frost delay, and that day, oh my gosh, worst round of my life. I think I shot like I want to say like a 96. Someone can probably go and look this up somewhere. I was like 15. Um, I had an 11 on a hole on a par 4. If anyone
Aw.
knows anything about golf, which I'm sure some people on here
Yeah.
do. There was bunkers completely surrounding the green, and I hit 2 out of bounds over the green in a row. Just completely. I had no I mean, I don't cry on the golf course. Like, I really try to keep it together because I remember one time when I was younger, I started crying on the golf course, and I said I wanted to go home, and, he told me that we don't cry on the golf course, so I never did from that point on. I was, like, 9. So, I
Wow.
just have never
He
cried.
just said,
Yeah,
we
he
don't.
said, "We don't cry on the golf course, so you
Oh,
can go home," and I was like, "Okay." So,
wow.
yeah. But anyways, I was really close after that 11 on a
Memo
hole.
received.
I mean, you're not gonna come back after 11. So, I mean, I stayed pretty steady throughout the rest of the day, but I wasn't gonna compete with the rest of the girls there. But then the next day, I ended up breaking 80 and I shot 79, I believe. So it was really nice to come back and, somewhat conquer that course by like almost 20 strokes.
Yeah. So that's a
yeah.
testament to not giving up.
Yep.
No crying on the golf course.
Yep.
And Florida's not always nice weather.
Yes.
We learned a lot there.
You need to be south of Orlando in the winter, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
It's pretty cold up there in the winter months. Yeah, I've had a lot of tournaments where, I've been in second, third, fourth place and come back and won the whole thing because the second day, I remember the one that you came up and watched at Little Turtle up in Columbus. I shot an 81 the first day, and then I shot 72 the next day, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in like third place starting.
And you
And
came
then
back and said,
came
I
back and
think
won
I'll
it.
take that trophy home.
Yep.
I think I've won this.
Yep.
We're so proud of you.
Thank you.
But and not only proud when you win, I'm always proud of the way you see, I get emotional with my family. I get really proud of you when you walk away as someone who didn't win but still has dignity, pride. And it's so amazing to see. And
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times my dad and I have been on the golf course following you around and see you maybe mess up something and you walk away with your shoulders back, ready to take on the next one. And I'm like, how does she do that? And Dad and I are like, yeah. And Dad's like, sometimes I throw my club in my younger days. So, it's a frustrating sport,
Right.
but to be able to keep that mindset. What when you were really young, did you know, Kevin, how she handles
my
herself
mom.
on and off the course?
Yep.
Hashtag proud mama. Yes, Krista. Yes, for sure. You should be proud of her. But I always thought, when you were really young, did you always have aspirations of being a professional golfer?
I didn't when I was super young because, like I said,
You
I
didn't know.
wasn't that great when I was younger, so I didn't even think that was a possibility. But I'd say probably starting at the end of middle school, starting freshman year, I was like, okay, maybe this is something I want to do. And I really did want to go to Florida. I think a lot of people know that. I really would love. I wanted to be in Florida, but I did visit the University of Florida. I did not like it.
Oh, really?
Huge
Wow, I bet that was a
campus.
surprise to you
Yeah.
that you didn't.
It was just way too overwhelming for me growing up in a small town. It was 40,000 kids, and the college I'm going to now doesn't even have 1,000 kids
Okay.
total.
Talk
Like,
about your
yeah.
college right now.
Yeah, it's really small school in Arizona. It's called Ottawa University. It's athletic based for the most part. Just mainly people go there for sports. I mean, pretty much all of our sports teams are amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty great. It's in
But
a
it doesn't rain sideways there, does it?
well, we do have these things called dust storms. I don't know if you've ever heard of that before.
I have.
But they're something that you will never understand until you experience it, as well as the heat out there. Holy crap.
So you wanted
Oh,
warmer climate, Maddie.
wow. It is
She just wants an
you,
80 degrees sunny day. What's wrong with that? We only want
exactly.
everything. Well, do you like it out there though?
I do. It's great.
So
It's
what do
great.
you miss when you're out there in Arizona? What do you miss from home? Anything besides your parents and grandparents?
Mainly just my parents.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you do.
And my friends, I mean, I don't really know what else there is to miss around here, in my opinion. I mean, there's not really. I mean, I've kind of seen everything there is to see. My coach said it's raining today. I did see that.
Oh wow, it's raining in Arizona.
It's thunderstorming out there. I
Oh
saw
my
that.
goodness.
Don't tell anyone. No, yeah, the dust storms. I mean, I wear contacts and they
Ooh, yeah.
completely eat up my
Yeah.
I mean, it's miserable. We had to stop a whole tournament one time and we were hiding in the bathroom, like this little tiny room. There was people like coming from all holes. We were like just cuddled in this bathroom.
No
and
doubt.
It was like 40-mile-per-hour winds of just dust.
Where all do you at your school? Where all do you travel to compete?
We did our first tournament at our home course, which is called Sterling Grove. It's right there in Surprise. It's brand new. They're building all kinds of houses around it. I mean, Surprise is it's growing rapidly. It's in the most like the most growing county in the US right now. They've got like almost 1 million people to
Holy
move
cow.
there in 2022.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
But yeah, we did a tournament kind of on the other side of Phoenix, and then we traveled to Iowa, which was interesting. It was also a lot like home. It just looked exactly, and the whole Midwest was just the same. I've discovered. But yeah, it was a lot like home. I have a funny story about that actually. I'm sure everyone around here knows what hydrangeas are.
Hydrangeas, yeah.
Bugs, but oh my gosh, bush.
Yeah.
That's the word I wanted.
The thing is, she could say hydrangea, but she couldn't say bush.
I couldn't say bush.
Well, I'm trying to figure that out right
now. So anyways, we get to the golf course whenever we flew there, and then we had to drive. We actually flew into Nebraska. We had to drive like 2 hours, which kind of sucked. But we got to the golf course, and one of the kids on our team, he's from Arizona native. We're walking past these hydrangea bushes. He's like, "What are those?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? They're flowers. They're hydrangea." He's like, "I've never seen those in my life."
And they're so they're so beautiful.
I know. I mean, they were huge. I have a picture of them, and he was like, "I've never seen those in my life." I was like, "It's kind of crazy." Like, I mean, the climates are completely like looking at each place is just completely different.
Vegetation is completely different.
It is. And yeah, we also flew to
how did you do in that tournament in Iowa?
I don't remember what I placed. Tina could probably tell us. I think I was like 8th.
8th? Yeah,
I played pretty good though. There was one we had to play 36 holes in one day. So
that's a lot.
Did we? Why can't I not remember? I don't even know.
That's okay.
Like my memory is so
okay,
bad.
But I mean, since you've been
we played 36 holes in one day and then another round of 18 the next day. That's correct. So I was not used to playing 2 18-hole rounds in one day. I'd never done that. So the second round was a little rough because I was tired. It was so hot. Literally, I don't even know how to explain it, but like apparently during harvest season, because this was in September, I want to say, there's like these little black bugs that come out and they bite you. And they're like, but I've never seen
the ones that are teeny tiny. Or are you talking about those that like they're?
Yes, they're like this. Like they look like gnats, but they bite you.
I know.
I
hate those things.
Bugs. They literally ate us up. I was in.
Tina says that was your first tournament of your college career. Thanks, Tina, for keeping her straight.
Yes, thank you. I don't know what's going on.
Who knew she was going to have to train you from afar on this podcast too?
But anyways, you should have seen my team because I couldn't stand these bugs. We were trying vanilla. They told us to use vanilla extract. We got this. Like,
Was that the
stuff from-
competitor? Because vanilla extract makes me feel like it's going to eat you up worse.
Yeah, I know, but they were saying
Maybe the competitor.
the people
hey,
in
try
Iowa.
this.
Yeah, the people in Iowa were like, "Hey, use a vanilla," and then we bought all this stuff from Walmart. We were like rubbing it all over ourselves, and it was not working. So I ended up wearing a rain jacket and rain pants. It was like a sauna suit.
Wow, it must have been
It felt
really
like
bad.
85 out there because of the humidity. And people were looking at me like I was crazy, but I was not about to have. And two
Bug
of my
bites.
teammates had allergic reactions to them. They had to go get like shots
What?
in their arms because they had
Wow.
such
Okay, so
bad...
I don't think I'm talking about the same bug.
No, because they're not. I've never
They're
seen them
never
in
been
Ohio.
here? Oh,
No,
okay.
they were ridiculous.
What's the best tournament you've... Wait a minute, first of all, how far can you drive a ball? Because I have a story about this.
Probably like 240.
Is that the farthest you've ever...
I'd say I probably hit a couple 250 before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I had some people tell me that they were at the Chillicothe Country Club and you were like 15 at the time and they were in front of you and they let you play through because they were taking a little bit of time and they're like, oh, this little girl comes up, you know, and she hit the ball and they were all like, who is that? And they're like, that's my cousin. Don't let me get up there. You'd be like, yeah, that's a... But anyway, yeah. So what is the best tournament you've had in your college career thus far?
I would say it was the last tournament I played of the fall season.
Where was that located?
It was over in Buckeye, Arizona, which is actually where a lot of Ohio people live.
Really?
Hence the name, yep. It's a beautiful area. It's about 30 minutes south of Surprise. And I ended up shooting 72. Tori. That's funny.
My daughter. Yeah, because she likes to be the one that does everything the best.
Yes.
So I'm sure her jaw did hit the floor for sure. But yeah.
I shot 72, 71, I believe. And I ended up winning that tournament. I won 2. I think I played 4 college tournaments in the fall, maybe 5, but I won 2 out of 4.
How is it traveling and being a college athlete and keeping your grades where they should be?
It wasn't that bad, other than my college actually takes off points for attendance, and they don't.
They don't care that you're at a game at a match.
Nope. So I have to just tell them that I'm gonna be gone, but it still counts against
you. Oh, that's not
Yeah,
good, especially for being a
pretty athletic school.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's different.
But I still had all A's, so it's okay.
Oh well.
Yeah.
She's such a slacker, people. I mean, come on, all A's. What? That's good. I didn't even know that.
Yes.
Thanks for sharing that.
I have another funny story
Good,
from
tell us. I love this.
Illinois. So Tina can definitely back me up on this one. This was the worst experience of college so far. We flew to Chicago. Actually, I mean, it was fun. It was fun for a while because I've never been to Chicago. We went to Chicago. I got that experience. Got to see the Bean.
Yeah.
We flew in there. The airport was a disaster. But we got out of there and I had to like carry my clubs and like a 50-pound bag like all the way across the airport. I was so tired. We got out of there and it was pretty chilly. This was it was like late October.
Yeah.
And we drove back to where we were in Illinois where we were playing, which was about 2 hours, I want to say. And then we played our practice round that next day. And also, or no. See, I literally I can't remember any of this stuff. All I know is the first round that we played, it snowed the whole time. It was 20-mile-per-hour wind.
Did
like
you
the
use
snow, it was like a blizzard.
Orange golf ball?
No, I didn't. It wasn't sticking to the ground, but I mean, it was snowing hard, and my parents were also there, so they could also back you up. They were walking the whole time, which in that case, I would rather be walking because then you're getting your body moving. We were on carts.
Oh, cold.
And it was freezing. I literally could not feel my fingers, could not feel my toes. And that's kind of hard to like hold a golf club whenever you can't feel your hands. So yeah, that was miserable. The first day we were trying to get through, I think we tried to play 27 holes that day, but we were like running out of daylight and it was so slow and it was snowing and it was a disaster. But somehow I ended up shooting 78 on my first 18. I actually never shot in the 80s my whole
college career.
Yeah, so far.
That's good.
But yeah, I
So
don't know how I did
even
that.
you play well when you're frozen.
Yeah, I guess so. I was just used to it, even though I hated it. It was, but
Yeah,
I got third in that tournament with that. Um, that's funny.
Victoria. I
Yeah.
was like,
Oh, you would not believe the amount of people that won't even let me through because their egos are too big to let me through. It
nuh-uh.
happens to me. It happens. It's happened to me and my dad. My dad could definitely back me up with that.
So they're just like, no.
No, like the men just think that a woman could never,
And you're out
get.
driving them.
Oh
So
yeah,
then they're like, mm.
yeah. My mom and dad literally went back to
Cold
their
enough that
Airbnb.
Kevin and I gave up
Yeah.
after 9 holes. And you're not a quitter. I know I
No.
would have been tapping out
It
like,
was
I'll
miserable.
catch you on the backside.
Like I've played when it's snowing, sleeting, but I've never played in 20-mile-per-hour winds and snowing. And it was like
Wow.
30 degrees. And they ended up canceling it. So we were literally there for one day. We flew into Chicago, drove 2 hours. Next day we got up, played golf the whole day, froze our butts off.
Yeah.
And then we were supposed to have day 2 the next day. They canceled it completely, and then I went and got my award, and then we flew out.
It's so good that you played good the first day
Yeah.
and you weren't the comeback kid
Yeah.
because you got third that tournament,
Right.
right? You said?
Yeah, they were trying to like, and the problem is like people had flights to get on because we were supposed to play 36 holes the first day and we only played 27.
Mhm.
So that means we had to play 27
Play it,
again the
yeah.
next day, and people had flights to get on, and so they were freaking out about making their flights.
Right.
And oh my gosh,
That
it was
makes
just,
sense.
It was
That
a
makes sense.
disaster. Yeah.
But overall, your college experience and I mean, you got straight A's. You're winning. You're getting the top
Yeah.
top of all your tournaments. You're
Yes.
placing, right?
Yes.
Mostly.
Yep.
So that's amazing to me.
Thank you.
And what's your favorite golf course to play? And that I mean, not just college, just overall. Where do you love? What golf course?
I would say the coolest one I probably played so far are the TPC courses that I've played, which are really, really expensive, high dollar
Mhm.
courses. I mean, I played down at TPC Rivers Bend a few summers ago. I actually won a tournament there. It was a crazy course to walk. It's about $200,000 a year just to be a member there.
Wow.
So that's like more than people's household income,
Right.
which is insane that people just spend that money on that. But I also played TPC Deer Run, which is the one in Illinois, and it was snowing the whole time. But that's where the John Deere Classic is played, which is a PGA tournament. It's where my favorite male golfer,
Okay, I was going to ask her that. Okay.
Jordan Spieth, has chipped
Jordan
in
Spieth.
to win that tournament. So it's pretty cool to be there. We play our national championship there in May, so I know that the weather's gonna be a lot better.
Have you met him, Jordan, in person?
I mean, yeah, I forgot his autograph a few times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you tell him, see ya later, you're going to know my name?
I didn't. No.
What about, who's your favorite female golfer?
It's got to be between Stacey Lewis and Lexi Thompson.
Oh, yeah. Have you met them?
I have got both of their autographs.
Okay.
Yeah. I've Stacey Lewis actually, my club fitter up in Columbus, his name's Chad Evans. He works with a lot of pros actually too. He's up at Brookside Country Club. It's in Dublin. Or Worthington, I think. He actually got in contact with Stacey Lewis's agent to get me a signed glove from her, and a signed golf ball and a signed hat.
Nice.
And he framed it and everything for me. And like she had played with it and everything.
Oh, wow.
Gave it to me, which was really awesome.
That is so special.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So I have a signed golf ball from you.
Yes.
That I stole from my dad. So then he needed to get a new one.
I gave him a new one. Did you show it to you?
He told me. Yeah. I haven't seen it yet. He told me he got one.
Yep.
But so now not very long ago, college athletes are now allowed to get sponsors, right?
Yes.
What's that all about, and what are you doing? Do you have a sponsor?
I do have a couple. For a while, I've had my dad's Bridgestone rep over at Crown Hill gives me free golf balls. I've also gotten a lot of like free golf bags and all stuff like that. That Bridgestone guy really likes me.
Bridgestone?
Yes.
I think I got golf balls from him. I purchased golf balls for your dad got me hooked up with him to get a deal on golf balls because I was doing this event at a golf course. Yeah.
Yes.
That's what it was.
Yeah, I get free golf balls with my initials actually like from the factory. so I don't have to like ride on them or anything, which is really awesome. Yeah, we actually met Lexi Thompson in a parking lot of TJ Maxx.
Oh, well,
went down in Florida.
I could have met her then
which-
because I'm always in a TJ
This
Maxx.
is a funny story. I got to start real quick, actually, too. We were down in Florida. We watched the shoot, what is it called? It's the CME Globe. It's the race to the CME Globe, which is like the women's version of like the FedEx Cup or whatever.
Wow, that's
yeah.
a big deal.
Yeah, so we watched that. It's down in Naples, Florida. Awesome place. We love like Marco Island, Naples. It's awesome. She actually just missed like a 2-foot putt to win the CME Globe. And we were leaving the golf course, and she was like coming out of a smoothie place, and then we like stopped at TJ Maxx or something, and she was walking out with like her boyfriend or a caddy or someone, and my mom like ran up to her and was like, "Oh my gosh!" I'm like, "Mom, she just
Way to go, Chris.
she just
I
lost
would've
the
done the
tournament,"
same
and Lexi was like not wanting to really speak to anyone. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, Mom, don't talk to her. Just say hi." Like she like ran up to her. I was like, "Oh my gosh."
I know.
it was
That
still
would
funny.
be a Debbie move. Way
Yeah.
to go, Chris. I'm with you, sis.
So, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
Tori says, I can tell she's a competitor. No. Oh, and Tina, you look like her too.
I'm guessing
You
she
kinda
means
look like her.
Stacy.
Yeah.
Stacy Lewis. I've got that before. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so back to the it's called NIL. NIL, it's name, image, and likeness. It's new for a lot of colleges. And basically you just have to sign a form and your college has to approve it for you to get stuff from companies. So
Because
it can be
athletes
anything.
used to get in trouble
Right.
for accepting
Yes,
anything.
right.
So they changed that law.
Yes.
And now, but go into it. I
Yeah.
know, like, do you have an agent? Is that
Yeah.
something?
Yeah, so my agent's actually Jeff Hallinan. He's over in Circleville.
Jeff Hallen?
Hallinan?
Hallen. I can't even say it.
Hallinan, yeah.
Hallen. And this is Pop.
I actually met him apparently I'd met him before. You would not believe the amount of people that come up to me and they're like, "Hey, Maddie." I'm like, "I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry." I'm also terrible with, names and stuff. I know faces pretty well most of the time, but names, I just can't do it. Anyways, he comes up to me, starts talking to me at a golf outing that I was playing in back in October of last year, so 2021. Well, I guess we're in 2023 now, so a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But he came up to me, gave him his card. I had no idea what he was talking about. He like starts talking about all this stuff. I hadn't even played my senior year of golf yet. I had committed to Ottawa at that point. But
So this was before you graduated. You were still in high school.
Yes.
Okay.
And he was like, "Here's your here's this card and I can, get you sponsorships." And I wasn't thinking anything about it. I was like, "Whatever. I don't even know who you are." Like,
yeah.
So I kind of just threw it in my golf bag, and then later I did end up giving it to my dad, and I was like, "I don't really know what this means, but I mean, take it." And he, several months later, ended up calling Jeff and said, "Hey, we're interested." And so he started being my agent, and he ended up getting me some sponsorships. So I was sponsored by Hummel and Plum Insurance here in, I think it's here in Chillicothe, I want to say.
Say the name again.
Hummel and Plum.
Hummel and Plum. Okay.
Jason Idle is the guy who.
Jason
Yeah,
Idle, okay.
he's the
Well,
one.
thank you
Thank
for
you,
your
Jason.
sponsorship.
If you're watching, or if you see this, he gave me some money for some of my tournaments that I play in, because they do get pretty pricey, especially with hotels and stuff.
Oh, sure.
And I ended up winning the last tournament I played in the summer, and I took a picture with my trophy and everything. And that money did help me pay for a lot of expenses, golf expenses, literally anything. I ended up getting stuff like a massage gun and stuff like that I can
Nice.
help with
tight muscles
yeah.
and all that.
Yeah.
But did you have a bank?
Like a bank account for it?
No. Did you have a bank sponsor you? I thought my
Oh.
dad said something about
No,
somebody.
I didn't.
No?
Nope. We tried actually to get Ohio Health. It is in Circleville. Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, thanks, Mom. So
we
you
tried
do-
to get Ohio Health to sponsor me, but they weren't quite there yet to be able to sponsor me. So we're hoping next year they're going to
that
be
Ohio Health will
Yes,
sponsor you.
yes.
That would be huge,
I
Maddie.
know.
Ohio Health is a huge.
Right. Yeah,
huge-
they were so excited that I was going out to Arizona and everything too. They were like, "Heck yeah, we'd love to be out
That's
there
a-
in
yeah.
Arizona." So,
as long
yeah.
as we're not in a dust storm or whatever. We'll all
those
wanna
are
go out
only
there.
those are seasonal. It's okay.
Are they really?
Yeah, but they were actually out of season when we had that huge one.
Oh, okay.
But it's such a weird thing, it's
Yeah.
raining plus there's dust going on at the same time.
You'd think
And
the
then it's
rain
just
would
gone.
stomp it out.
Yep, it's just gone out of nowhere.
Oh, that's so funny.
Strange.
So so I feel like the questions I had about your favorite golf course, your favorite golfers, all of that. Is there anything else you can share with us? Well, you know what I can say is the show is called Find It.
Yep.
So in my case, I'd have to find my golf ball because I never hit it straight. But anyway, that's beside the point. In life and with golf or anything, what have you found in your life that you would like to share with us to help us find it too?
I've found that golf takes a lot of patience. I think I've learned a lot of patience, I'd say, for the most part. Patience and perseverance, and just never giving up, I guess.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And do you, like, with patience, that takes practice.
Yep.
So you didn't just have it naturally. You had to work on that too.
Yep.
Because don't you feel like some people, you look at me and I'm high strung and it's like, oh, she probably has no patience. But then you have someone like Maddie who is like, seems very, quiet and put together in her thoughts. And you think, oh, she's just naturally patient. All of us have to work to get that.
Yeah.
Right? Because
Yeah.
no matter how you seem on the outside, you still have those same random thoughts going on inside.
Yeah.
So you not giving up also includes not giving up on the practice of being patient.
Right.
And playing your game. And oh my
Yep.
gosh, I'm just so proud of you in so many ways. And
Thank
like your
you.
mom said earlier, proud of you on and off the golf course.
Yes.
For sure. Do you have any with the Schultz side? We always do pork and kraut on New Year's Day.
I believe we're doing that tonight.
Okay, so you too?
Yes. My mom told me to pick up some mashed potatoes.
Yeah,
tonight.
because that
Yep.
makes it better.
Yep.
The pork, the kraut, marinated
Yep.
together, and then put it over top of mashed potatoes.
Yep.
So that's like a family thing. And
Yep.
what I've noticed is a lot of people have traditions for New Year's Day. And that's always our tradition. And my mom makes some kick butt pork and kraut, let me
Yeah.
tell you.
I'm sure.
So you're going to have that later too?
Yes.
Oh,
We
that's
normally
awesome.
do it. Yep.
That's
normally
awesome.
Do it.
Well, I don't know how long we've been on here, but I see the bubble saying we've done quite a bit. So why don't you pull your little cup of water up, your little pretty glass? Let's do a toast to a great podcast.
Yes.
Family time. Everybody, you know what? Keep on trucking, have patience, and never give up. This is the words
Yes.
of Maddie Schultz. Remember her name. Remember her name. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Ta-da! That's a great swing.
Yes,
sis.
thank you.
I love it. Let's play that outro, Lynn.
That floats around me, keeping me